So this way, I can see you guys in the chat. So what is this webinar about? How to get more high quality calls from Google Maps without blindly trusting an SEO company or paying a monthly retainer forever. How's that for a big promise? Warning, guys, at the end of this presentation, I will make a pitch. It's actually not really a pitch, but anyway, I did want to put that in there. All right, let's get going. I also want to thank my graphic designer, Sonia. I put together what was a, kindergarten version of these slides, and she made them beautiful, at least in my opinion. I think you guys are going to agree. So thank you, Sonia, for making me look good. All right, so guys, the elephant in the room, agencies are awful, or at least they've got an awful reputation. Can I get an amen if you guys are with me on that? I mean, amen in the chat if you agree that most agencies have an awful reputation. Thank you, guys. So why? One of them is what I would call fake SEO. So, you know, claiming to do a full-blown SEO service when in fact it's just minor SEO tasks. So a lot of companies doing that. There's a big difference between, doing a real SEO job versus, what they'll say. And the other thing is over-promising. SEO will transform your business. No, it will not, guys. You might find that weird for me to say, considering I run an agency that does a lot of SEO services, but it's not it's not SEO that will transform your business. It is YOU, which will transform your business. We can help for sure, but it really is up to you, right? There is no silver bullet. There's just a bunch of lead bullets, but you can win with SEO. Don't worry about that. You can win. There is a strategy. There is a recipe. We'll be talking about that right now. You just need to find the right thing. My goal is to help two types of home service companies on this webinar today. Give me a 1 if this is you. New companies looking to get their first high quality exclusive calls online. That's number 1. If that's you, please put a 1. And then number 2, companies who are looking to take their Google call volume to the next level. I see you, Jack. Thanks, guys. So those are the 2 people we're here to help. See you, Daniel. All righty. So here's the big idea, right? The big idea of this webinar, there's kind of 2 of them. So one is that Google Maps is the best way to generate a ton of high quality calls each month from Google search organic. So number 1, Google Maps it's the best way. I'm going to show you a bunch of case studies and things that prove that. And the number 2 thing is that we have the recipe to get you ranked in the maps. I don't mean that like I'm going to gatekeep. I'm actually going to do the exact opposite. I'm going to show you guys exactly what this recipe looks like. Oh, interesting. So when you guys enter, you can see what you write, but you can't see what everybody else writes. Okay, cool. So that's interesting on the chat, but I can see it. I can see it all. If there's anything hilarious, I will let you know or pertinent. So, all right, cool. So why should you listen to me? I'm the owner at PM Now. We've served over 350 home service companies in the last 4 years. I've been in SEO since 2014. I've been an SEO coach since 2019 with over 15,000 students. That's right. The comma is in the right place. I'm a speaker at high-level SEO conferences like this one, which is Monetizing Traffic Live, which is coming in November. And they did me a nice, thing of making me a comic book character over here. So the other thing I want to let you guys know about, if you haven't heard about it before, is that I got into this to help my dad's company. So my dad, he was a subcontractor for commercial head doors. Always been a subcontractor in his like 40 years of business experience. And, he's like, hey, Michael, I'm looking to get some calls. I'm like, I can get you residential garage door calls, I think. I used SEO to help make his phone ring like crazy. And I got hooked. I was like, wow, this can really help some people. This can really help people just like my dad, so I want to do this. And so that was, I think I started working with them in 2014. And so, we've just been running downhill since then. Okay, so I discovered the power of Google Maps by accident. So when I started PM Now, I knew like, look, nobody cares about your rankings. Is that right? Can you put a one if you agree you don't really care about rankings, in Google Maps or Google at all? What you care about is actually phone calls. And so since I knew that that was the only thing that mattered, we've put tracking numbers on everything. Now, SEO is traditionally a bit about websites. So if you guys like talk to any SEO company or if you work with any SEO company, they're going to be talking about your website rankings. But what we found out is that 80% of the calls come from Google Maps. And I actually have something here that I want to share with you guys right now. Um, Actually, I can't share this with you because it has some of my clients' information on it, and I don't want to share their information. But basically, I can give you the broad strokes. 14,300 phone calls, 84% of them came from 84% of them came from Google My Business. So this is like legit. And I wasn't alone in my discovery that Google Maps was where you got phone calls. There's actually an underground community of people running tests on thousands of GBPs. So GBP is Google Business Profile in an effort to unlock the recipe for ranking high and getting calls on Google Maps. So this is one of the things that I was very surprised to learn about this back in 2014 when I started getting into this. But with SEO, there's always been an underground community of nerds, let's call a spade, who just like tinker to find out, what is going on, like how can I get more calls from Google Maps? So, Andrew, thank you for the question. Is Google Maps the same as Google local service ads? It is not. So, what I'm talking about here is if I look up plumber near me, this at the top is Google local service ads. Google guaranteed to be a valid lead, you know? And if it's not a valid lead, you can get it disputed. So I love Google local service ads. I love it. I think it's great for small businesses. This is the map section. So it's a completely different section of Google. And then this is the Google organic section. This is where the websites are. So again, this section where you can see your reviews and where you're located, this is what generates 85% of the calls. Uh, don't get me wrong, like this section, you can get a ton of calls from them, but focus, like put your 80-20, focus on where, it's going to have the biggest impact. So thank you, Andrew, for that question. If you guys have any other questions, like don't save them to the end, just let me know. Okay. So there's an underground community of people who are unlocking like the recipe for how to get this done. So let me just show you guys some case studies. This journey or figuring out this recipe has led to these results. So here's an example where this person, it's a contractor of some sorts. It's either like a plumber, an HVAC contractor, an electrician, a remodeler, a roofer. This is what their map looked like before. This is what it looked like afterwards. Before, this didn't look too bad until you realize that you can be number one in all the spots. Here's a before, here's an after on the maps. And this is like the most important thing, which is here's a client where this is like a linear view of like how their rankings improved. And you can see a maps jump on 416. So this is like literally a couple of weeks ago. And then you can see we did the call tracking. You can see a call jump happening on 422. So their maps rankings increased, and literally like, what is that? 6-7 days later, their calls increased, and they hit a max here in May. So you see this is May 26th. I don't know if you can see that, but it's literally 3 days ago. All right. Well, so got some questions. Brandon, let me ask you this. If the algorithm goes by proximity, why would we have to type in near me? You don't need to have to type in near me, but like if I go like plumber, I could put plumber Denver, that'll give me another result, if they do just plumber, yeah, they're seeing a map show up, so Google's smart enough to know that if you're searching for certain services or whatever, that you're looking for a local business. So that's a great question, Brandon. And then Jack, where do we find that map view? Do you mean where do you find this map view, Jack? Yes, yeah. So this is like a great thing, to start on, right? Like this is hilarious. Look, this is my next slide. It answers your question. So Peter Drucker is a management guru. If you guys haven't picked up his books, like definitely do it. One of the things he's well known for saying is like what gets measured gets managed. So how to measure your Google Maps rankings. So this is a GeoGrid ranking report. It's run by a company, it's created by a company called Local Falcon. Most agencies don't even track this, which like blows my mind, because again, what gets measured gets managed. Most agencies, they don't even track it. So how can they even hope to improve their map rankings? Like they can't. So email me at mt@pmnow.biz and I'll get you a free ranking report. So let's put this one to an end. The next question that people usually ask when they start looking at these ranking reports is like, all right, cool. It went from red to green. How far out does that go? How far can we expand the radius? And we looked at thousands of GeoGrid reports to discover that, it depends. If it depends on your niche and it depends on your competition. So if you've got low competition and you're in HVAC, plumbing, electrical, you can usually rank in about a 10-mile or plus radius. So very rural areas, that's what it looks like. Other home services, you can do way more, like HVAC, plumbing, electrical, these are competitive fields. A lot of the other ones are less competitive. And so you might, you can go a little bit further. Medium competition, we can do it a 7-mile radius. High competition, we can do it a 3 to 5 mile radius. This is, by the way, like all you really need. If you're in a high competition area, you're probably in a very densely populated area, which means there's like thousands and thousands and thousands of homes that you can go to. And so ranking in this radius is usually enough to get it done. All right, let me answer some questions. Eric said, I use Google Ads already. How do we use Google Maps if the company is already listed? So a couple of things, Eric. So when you say Google Ads, like, do you mean local service ads, which is over here, or Google Ads, which is this section? So if you can answer that really quick in the chat. You said, search, click. All right, yeah. So you use these ads. You Google Ads actually. Okay. How do we use Google Maps if the company is already listed? I mean, you can just create to get showing on Google Maps. All you need to do is to create a Google business profile. So you create a Google business profile. It is separate from Google Ads, and you get that sucker ranking. You follow the recipe. You start ranking in places so that instead of showing up like this, you start showing up like this. Yeah, you already have one. Okay, great. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. That's what we'll go over is we'll go over the recipe. All right, Alex, what's the average time frame to rank in green for a 5-mile radius? If are we talking about, Alex, like a low, like what area? Is it a low competition area or a high competition area? So 5-mile radius in a low competition area, like, we can probably do that like, 60, 90 days. Yeah, 250,000 population. We're talking closer to like the 6 to 9, probably around like a 6-month time frame is what I would give it if you're doing all of the right things. And Jack, great. You already have a business profile, so that's excellent. All right, sweet. So we talked about how far the radius can go. So look, we paid special attention to the outliers. So, these are not numbers that I like pulled out of thin air or other places. These are numbers that we got from doing like research. And when we were doing the research, we paid special attention to the outliers. So what I mean by that is who had rankings that were completely outside of the normal boundaries. So for example, we've got a client who's in an insanely high competition area, but they rank in a 10-mile radius. And so it's like, huh, that's different. What were they doing differently? Can we reverse engineer? Can we look at all of these outliers and like stack them up next to each other and find out what's different? What do these people who are going outside of the boundaries have that these other people don't? And we found some stuff. And that's the first secret to this webinar. Did I build that up good? Are you guys excited to find out what it is? Give me one if you're excited. Does it sound good? Sweet. Cool. All right. Secret number one, the main 6 factors that impact your map rankings. Okay. So first I want to state an obvious fact here because I don't want I don't want to overhype anything, which is the only people who know how Google works are the engineers. Google does give us some stuff online, some guidance. Engineers have leaked some information in the past, but the info that we have is gained from careful analysis and testing. So these are like what the tests have shown us to work, and it works right now. Andrew's asking, do you need to have a postcard sent to you by Google to be in the service areas one wishes to cover? I mean, you do need to be verified. So, and there's a lot of ways to get verified. Postcard is one of the older methods. There's video verification. There is telephone verification. There's email verification. So there's a lot of ways to get verified, but you do need a verified listing. And then there's ways that, we can expand your radius, which we'll go into right now. So here are the 6 main factors that impact your map radius. So one, I'm simplifying this, I'm giving you guys the high level stuff on this. You can ask me as many detailed questions as you want, but I want to give you guys like the big picture here. So one is you optimize the GBP profile. So fancy word of saying keywords in the right places. You want to make sure that the profile is completely filled out. 2, the website needs to be optimized as well. So just because we're focusing, and this is where a lot of people mess this up, and it took us a long time, by the way, to figure this one out. So if you ever talk to somebody who's like, oh yeah, I can get you ranked on your map, and then they're like, do you need access to my website? No, it's all wrong. Your website needs to be optimized. There are cases, by the way, with like franchises. We've worked with some people to improve their map. They're part of a franchise where we didn't touch their website, but the reason was the franchise had already optimized it correctly. So anyway, part 2 is that your website needs to be optimized, keywords in the right places. 3 is backlinks. So backlinks, that's when one website links to your website. So this shows authority, the authority of that site that links to you, goes to you. So for example, if just give you an example, if I found out that your best friend was Mike Tyson, you'd probably raise your status would probably raise in my, not to say that Mike Tyson, I mean, the guy went to jail for pretty awful things or whatever, but he is, one of the greatest, heavyweights of all time, youngest heavyweight champion or whatever. So, yeah, that's kind of how backlinks work, where it's like the authority of one person goes to the next. It's like you being best friends with Mike Tyson. 4th thing is reviews matter. They're not the whole recipe, but they matter. So reviews matter. And guess what? Your reviews need to have keywords in the right places. You guys notice how many times keywords shows up? Keywords are in GBP optimization. They're in website optimization. The keywords are over here in reviews also. 5 is to update your Google business profile. Make sure that the profile is continually active. By the way, you can get keywords in there. And then number 6, and this is the one that so many people miss. And it's sad, but whatever, they just miss it. This is like your advantage for everybody who's, opted into this list and showing up here or watching the replay is engagement signals. So that is how are people interacting with your website and your Google business profile. I'm going to give you guys, if you guys want like an example of that, let me know, but I can give you a killer example in just a little bit. So the thing to understand about this recipe is that, like, just with any recipe, like one missing ingredient can mess the whole thing up. So imagine that like this is a recipe for making chocolate chip cookies, and like this is flour and this is sugar and this is chocolate chips and whatever the heck else goes into it, and like you're missing flour, like you're not gonna be able to get chocolate chip cookies, and it's the same thing with this recipe where like you need everything. And there's a company, it's like Peak Heating and Cooling. This is like these guys are awesome. They grew like super, super fast. We helped them with their Google Maps rankings. They eventually took all of their marketing in-house. They wanted to hire people like to do it in-house. But really, really great guys, smart owners. And I remember they came, we actually have a video testimonial, so don't take my word for it. You can actually hear it from them themselves, where they were saying that they were working with an SEO company for like 9 months and their Google map wasn't working at all. And we came in there and we fixed like one or two things. And within 30 days, they were dominant on the map. And the reason why I bring this up is because it goes to this point of like, it's a recipe. Like you need everything. Like how many people you see reviews is a part in this. Please just give me a 1 in the chat. Have you ever seen on Google Maps that there's a company with like 3,000 reviews and then there's a company above them with like 50 reviews? Can you give me a 1 if you've seen that happen before? Yeah, exactly. And like, what does that really indicate to? What does that point to? It points to like reviews are not the be all end all. It's like, it's all of these things. And so sometimes you can fix something and really have it to work. And, I actually get excited sometimes when I see like obvious blatant mistakes on the Google business profile. If somebody has invested in SEO in the past, it usually means they have some of the ingredients, but not everything. And I love that because it means we can get faster results. So that was secret 1. It had to do with the recipe. So secret 2, how to outrank companies that are 10 times your size and have hundreds more reviews. So this is secret 2 that we're getting into. I think you're going to really like this. This is actually, wow, I asked you about it, but you already know about it. But anyway, this is the Google Map rankings. So this is the company that ranks number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. This is what the actual map looks like. And what I pointed out here, because you can't really see it, is the number of reviews. So you see the number 1 guy's got 188, but the number 2 guy's got 38. But the number 3 guy's got 64. And then this guy's got 1,977. Right? So obviously you can outrank bigger companies on Google Maps. And so this is actually like a story that really sucked. But so one of the things about like SEO is that it's always changing. And what sucks about it is it's kind of like, you got it nailed down and then Google makes a change and then everything, like you've got to update all of your SOPs. It's kind of like, you've trained your people on how to do like great, like how to repair great HVAC, HVAC systems or how to do great plumbing. And then just imagine like plumbing just fundamentally changes. And now you got to figure out how to do it. And then you got to retrain them. So like, that's like the challenge of being, an agency. But 18 months ago, 18 months ago, we could do a lot with reviews alone. It was like having the keys to the car where it's like, if we just get a certain number of reviews, we got you covered, you're going to be in good shape. But then what happened was Google last summer, they did this thing called the review purge. Maybe you guys have seen it. They've done a couple of rounds of purges since then, but they basically came and they just like wiped like a bunch of reviews off the board. So a lot of people lost like 30% of their reviews overnight. But then what they also did after the purge was done, we noticed reviews didn't have the same amount of push before. Like before, like you could actually like really push rankings, but after the purge, it wasn't there. And so we were like really like sad face about it, until we realized, and again, this is like why it really helps to like have a network of people who know things. By the way, I just want to like put this as a side note. Like, how lucky are you guys that you're in a space where there's tens of thousands of companies, just call it thousands if you're really ambitious, thousands of companies who have done and accomplished exactly what you want to accomplish. Like, yeah, right? Like you guys, like, I mean, it blows my freaking mind. Like you have so many people who know exactly like what it is, like what you need to do, have that game plan, and like you gotta take advantage of it. In my business, there are I mean, I don't get me wrong, I've got mentors who are, other agency owners, but like with this problem, we're all scratching our heads. There wasn't like an answer, what the heck do we do? Like how do we move the map? And so we started like conversing with our, within the network. Again, there's an underground community of people who do this SEO stuff. And we dug deeper and we discovered some stuff. Reviews do matter, but it's more about these days the review velocity. So Google doesn't necessarily care. They do care, but they don't care as much about like how many reviews do you have in total, but how many reviews do you have lately? You know, are there keywords in your reviews? And here's like another crazy one. I'm gonna give this to you guys because like this is some real like ninja stuff. I'm gonna tell you. How did they find your review link? Like, I want to like let that sit with you guys for a second. Like, imagine you're Google, right? And you've got one person who leaves a review. And how did they leave a review? They had such a great experience with this company that they went online, they searched the brand name, they clicked on the profile, and they left a 5-star review. That was their experience. You have one person who left a review like that. That's person number one. Now you have person number two. Person number two, the only thing that Google knows is that they somehow landed on the review link and they left a 5-star review. That's all that they know. So let me ask you, does Google like review number one better, or do they like review number two better? What do you guys think? You're mixed on this. Yeah. So they don't like two better. They like one better because Google knows that there's review software. They know that there's review software out there. They know that there's some companies out there who are just like, like, here's the link, here it is, like getting it, right? And so like they know that like, oh wow, it's not necessarily that this company has raving fans. A raving fan is going to search you. A raving fan had such a great experience. Exactly, Andrew. It seems more organic. A raving fan is going to be like, I just got to tell everybody that Andrew's company did such an amazing job. I don't care how many clicks I need to do to find it. I'm going to leave a review. And then I'm also going to put, by the way, the keyword, and I'm going to show a photo in that review. Like that's the perfect review. Somebody who like just clicks on a link, that you got from, your review software or whatever. Don't get me wrong, better than nothing, right? There's better ways to do it. I'm going to show you at the end of this presentation, this webinar, by the way, how we found how to get an 80% capture rate. So to put that in perspective, best review software out there will give you a 25% capture rate. 25% of customers to leave you a review. We found a way to get 80%. Now, don't get me wrong. Like this is one of those things where if you're below 10 million, it makes sense to do it this way. I'm going to show you. If you're at 20 million or above, rely on the software. It's going to be a little bit easier. But, for those who are able to do it, we're a little bit smaller, I'm going to give you guys, this is the bonus. The key to getting 80% of customers to leave a 5-star review. All right, so we're cruising. Secret number 3, how to improve your what if it's a Google link that you get from your Google business profile? No, that's not going to be it. Don't get me wrong. Like, guys, like getting reviews is good, but like you'd rather they just search your brand name, you know what I mean? And then click. And so if you can figure out a way to do that, you're gonna, or schedule a demo with me. I'll tell you it all. But anyway, how to improve your rankings working 1 day per week. Okay. So what's the work that actually needs to get done? So most people have no idea what work their SEO company is doing or should be doing. Is their SEO company even working at all? I talked to a business owner a couple of weeks ago, and he was like, he was paying a company $6,000 a month, for SEO. And I saw, like, I could look on the back end and I could see that the person he was paying was literally doing nothing. He wasn't building content. He wasn't doing backlinks. He wasn't doing engagement signals. He wasn't doing anything. And that sucks. That absolutely sucks, because if you don't know how to do a job, just say you don't know how to do a job, but to be like, all right, I'm going to take this other small business owner's money for months over month, that's BS. That is really not cool. And it gives digital marketers a bad rap. I'm a little bit heated about this. So anyway, we've got to help people understand what work a good SEO company does. Like, give me a one if you agree with that. Like, you guys, like, we got to at least like have some visibility. It's like, what do these guys do? So you don't get strung along. We know how to hold people accountable. So for that reason, I put this together for you guys. So this is the Google Maps SEO monthly playbook. So this is basically like an internal type thing for my company, but you can use this if you hire another company, if you're currently working with a company, and this is what actually work needs to get done. Or if you wanted to do SEO on your own, this is also, by the way, the work that you would do, and it takes about a full day. So when I say how to improve your rankings, working 1 day, one day per, it's actually not, it's like per month actually, because this takes about 8 hours, 8 to 10 hours a month. So what would you do? New website content. So identify target keywords, you write a blog post, you have to put links in the blog post to your existing pages. You have to have your existing pages now linked to the blog post. You've got optimized things. You work on your website content every single month. If people are not touching your website, they're not touching your website content, you're getting strung along, and so make sure that you know what they're doing. The second thing is build relevant backlinks. So backlinks, what is involved in this? You got to identify the websites that you want to backlink from. You got to contact the webmaster. You need to create content for them to post. Submit the content. Then you have to track the actual links. So like the shortcut of this thing is, if you're working with somebody, ask them, what links did you guys build for me this month? Give me a list of the links that you guys built. That's how you know they're actually working. So another thing is to keep your business profile active. So what we do is we post to the profile 4 times a month. We keep the Q&A active. We respond to reviews. And this is like kind of like a secret one, is there's actually software that you can use to send certain engagement signals out there. So, are they using anything for engagement signals? Are they doing anything else? These last 2 points, if you do SEO on your own, you don't need to worry about this, but this is really to give you an idea. This is what goes into an SEO work, an SEO engagement every month, because, the company needs to meet with you. They should be sending you reports. They should have a monthly meeting in the very least. And at the end of the meeting, they should send a recap. And then also, like, during the month, they'd be responding to emails, texts, other changes requested by a client. Like, some of this stuff is technical, but it's not rocket science. Most people, like, they don't want to do this themselves because the work is monotonous. It is a little bit boring. That's the reason why SEO companies exist. But hey, look, if you're not in the position to, to invest in a company, a vendor to do the thing, or a partner to do this for you, and if you want to do it on your own, like, this is your playbook. this is what you got to do. Just learn how to do this stuff. You can Google a lot of this stuff, like you can read, a lot to get yourself there. But if you're really on a shoestring budget, if you're on a shoestring budget, I wouldn't be learning how to do SEO. I'd be doing a lot of other things in my company first. But yeah, or if you want somebody to do it in-house, that's how they would do it for you. Andrew, back to reviews. So investing in tap cards is worth it. I love tap cards, Andrew, but I would not program. So we offer these to our clients. These are the tap cards you're talking about, right? These are the ones you're talking about, Andrew? These are the ones. So like you tap it. Yeah. I don't program these to go directly to the I'm just going to tell this to you guys. This is going to blow your mind if you understand what I'm saying. And if you don't, then okay, that's fine. But we don't program these to go directly to your review link. We used to, but we don't anymore. Instead, what we program these to do, because there's multiple ones, if you have multiple texts, one will search. It'll be like, let's say, Andrew, do you have like a plumbing company or an HVAC? What type of company do you have? Plumbing, right. So we'd have one that searches brand name plumber. So this way, every time that they tap, it's basically the equivalent of doing your brand name plus plumbing. So what happens is that Google sees people are searching this brand name plus plumbing. So it helps you with that. And then your review link is just right below. They literally they can see it. It's not like, but they just have to click on it. So it's right there. Some of the cards are going to be like your brand name plus drain cleaning. Some of the cards are going to be your brand name plus sewer line replacement. Some of the cards would be your brand name plus water heater repair. So this way, not only do you get a review, you get the perfect review because you get somebody who's searching your brand name. We're associating your brand name with a keyword, and then Google is tracking this entire thing in the background. They're tracking this entire thing so they can see that somebody looked for your brand name plus a keyword, and they were so thrilled with your service that they gave you a review. And if you're smart, you have some sort of script where you ask people to mention the keyword in the review and also take a photo. That's how I would set it up. I think like the big problem is that these tap cards and these like review software companies, these guys had the idea of creating these tools, and they're useful tools, to just build up like the metric that they're looking at. The main metric they're aiming for is number of reviews, and so like if you wanted to just scale up the number of reviews, software tap cards, that's the way to do it. But if your goal was to get more calls from Google Maps, you wouldn't set it up that way. Can you guys does that make sense? Can you give me like a make sense, if that makes sense? All right, sweet. Cool. So my offer to you guys. So first of all, I would love to help you guys. I love giving out free information. I would like it even better to make you guys some money. That's what I would like even better. Even better than sharing great information, let me help you make some cash, right? Grow that revenue. So I don't know if I can help you unless I actually do some measurement. So, that's like the first step is like, let me do some measurements to find out if I can actually help you get more revenue. So, if you want me to do that, just like put your email in the chat box. No one else is going to see it. Only I'll see it. Or you can just email me at mt@pmnow.biz and I'll get you a custom SEO video analysis. So what that's going to look like is cool, guys. All right, I'll get this over to you. So what this will look like is I'll run your GeoGrid reports. I'll look for website rankings, website errors or whatever. And if I think you guys have the opportunity to make some quick fixes and get more calls, I'll let you know about that, in more detail. So yeah, we got a lot of people. All right, cool. So I'll get you guys, let me just like screenshot. So this way I'll remember to do this. I'll get those reports over to you ASAP. All right, sweet. You guys ready for the bonus? Ready for the bonus? How to get 80% of people to leave you 5-star reviews. I feel bad, man. I feel bad because I built this up and we kind of already covered it. I'm so sorry. Which is the tap cards. The near field communication cards. So this is my dog Cora. Where is she? Where are you, Cora? So Cora is my office dog. Absolute best dog in the world. She's 3 years old. She's half lab, half golden retriever, and she was terrified to take this photo. She was terrified to take this photo, as you can see by the look in her face. She's like, "Daddy, what are you doing for me?" So, dude, tap cards, guys, that's the way to do it. So, very important. We went over this. What link are they going to? Is it straight to your review link? Wouldn't it be better if the phone searched your brand plus keyword? So, that's all I got for you guys. I think we did pretty good on time. Let me know, Andrew, you didn't kill the bonus. You're all good, my man. Um, Let me know if you guys have any other questions in the chat. What do you guys think of this webinar? Try to make it valuable to you. Guys, you guys find this valuable? Was it worth your time? Sweet. All right, cool. So awesome. Excellent to hear, everybody. Excellent to hear, Andrew. I'll contact you ASAP. Guys, I'm on a mission to help 100 home service companies get to 10 million. Like that's what I want, and the reason why I want that is because, well, like it's just I talk about my dad. I always think about my dad when it comes to like these clients, like our clients, is because my father had like a business, and like his ambitions aren't really to be a $10 million company. Like he's the type of guy who will go on a service call and he'll spend an hour chatting with the customer, because that's who he is. He just wants to, like, I mean, he's awesome. He just wants to like talk to people. He loves people. He loves his neighbors. He just wants to like provide a great service. He doesn't have his ambitions to be like a $10 million company, but I kind of had that dream for him, if that makes sense. And so I have that dream for you guys. I have that dream for you guys, that let me help you build this business to as big as you want. And I would think it'd be so awesome, just for some round numbers, to have 100 companies to make it to 10 million, to make that $1 billion impact. So anyway, we're always looking to get better. We're always looking to improve, like a fine wine, bring it all the way home. Um, Daniel, that underground community, you just got to go to the events. You just got to go to the events, go to the conferences. Do I have a free or paid course where you can upgrade your local SEO skill, Jesse? One thing that I am committed to doing, Jesse, like along with this, is producing more content on YouTube. So like this is going to go on YouTube, and what I'm going to put together at some point is like a full blown, like, this is what we do, like no gatekeeping. This is the work that we do for Google Maps on YouTube, so you guys can see what it is. But I do have to say, Jesse, like, again, if I were, and please, if you want to hear more about this, like, reach out to me. You have my email address. It's right there on the screen right now. But if I were you guys, and I was really looking like, all right, what are the cheaper ways that I can like really like build my company really fast? I wouldn't do the SEO work. Like I would go through other strategies, and like I got this, like I didn't come up with this. I've gotten this from talking to experts in the field. Like I've gotten this from talking to people who've built 10, 20, 100, $250 million companies, home service companies, as to like what do you do when you're starting off, when you're bootstrapping it? They all pretty much have the same answer. So I would focus on that rather than like learning how to be an SEO whiz. But if you want to learn more about that, Jesse, I'd be happy to talk to you guys about it. Daniel, yes, yeah, my father he's a boomer. He's a boomer, and yeah, yeah. Lots of love. So all right, guys, I hope you guys had a great time. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. And to everybody for the SEO analysis, I'm gonna get to that to you as soon as I possibly can. Most likely, it's gonna be looking like early tomorrow, just the way that my calendar looks like for the rest of this day. But I hope you guys have a great day. Let's crush it this summer and onwards, and we'll be in touch. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.